it has been a long time since we previously talked about the photography, especially focused on 360 photography. And in this video, I would like to share with you that my latest technique that can be applied to any 360 cameras, including the Insta360 X3. Insta360 X3 is a consumer-level product with dual half-inch image sensor that is capable to deliver 72 megapixels. This is a tiny little camera in my hand, and in this video, I'd like to take this camera into the real world, show you how to get the best possible imaging quality, with all kinds of my latest technique. And I would like to share with you that everything that I have learned during this workflow, that's to show you how to improve your imaging quality. At the same time, try to persuade the Insta360 engineers, try to finalize their PureShot algorithm, and try to further improve their photo features design in the future models. And my name is Yujin Guo. My YouTube channel is dedicated to 360 photography, video, accessories, and some cutting-edge technology. Let's jump to the behind-the-scenes videos, because I have recorded the behind-the-scenes with my DJI Pocket 2, and I've also captured all the screenshots within my phone that literally want to show you that every tiny little detail, especially on the settings, on the point of view, and what I am thinking about before really press the shutter button. So now let's jump to the behind-the-scenes video, and I'm gonna give you my voiceover, try to explain to you the real technique that I have been mastered through all these years. So in these scenarios, you get to figure out where the challenging light and how I arrange my shot and my basic settings on the Insta360 X3. This is the subject, the salad I've ordered in this sushi restaurant. I try to focus on this subject, I try to capture the food and myself, and above all, the atmosphere. But in this scenario, you can see the light looks pretty challenging, especially the highlight detail. It's overexposed on the basis of a single frame, and it is actually a low light with complex lighting interior shot. And this is where I place my Insta360 X3. Literally, you can put any 360 camera, so you get to see the whole delicious food on the front lens, of the X3, and I capture some other subject at the rear frame. Here is to show you the shooting style, the shooting mode I've been captured with the X3. First, I intentionally to shot in HDR, but it turns out that when you capture in PureShot HDR, there's no manual shooting mode. And the only setting you get with PureShot HDR is only 80 megapixels. You just can't capture 72 megapixel, even you place the camera on the tripod. But when you switch back to photo mode, you get enable the 72 megapixel with the best detail on the tripod. But things got a little bit tricky. When you switch back to HDR, no, there's only 80 megapixel shooting without manual setting. So this is where I hate about HDR PureShot. I do hope Insta360 could catch up with some extra firmware upgrade. And I choose 3-second countdown and switch back to the photo mode. 72 megapixel, 3-second countdown, and yes, this is my manual settings. Considering I have placed my camera on a tripod, I can always lock the exposure, and judging from the light preview, the X3, the light preview, the color is quite accurate. So I select the appropriate color temperature on the basis of the light preview and change the exposure. The key idea is to set ISO to 100 to get the maximum imaging quality. And just switch back between the front and the rear lens, long press, and you can live preview in 360. Here you can see the highlight has been overexposed, but it doesn't matter. Here you can see I intentionally add more exposure to the shot, overexpose the highlight to get the better signal-noise ratio in the mid-tone and dark shadow areas. To capture the shot, you have to control with the app to avoid any vibration by pressing the shutter button. This is the first shot. I've been captured with this combo set and this perspective, in between this glass and the salad. And to capture in 72 megapixel does take some time. So it takes a little bit while to save to the memory card. And judging from the live preview, you can see all the settings that I have been captured with this combo set. And from the live perspective, I have changed another exposure. You can rely on the PureShot. I mean, you can definitely rely on the PureShot on the basis of the Accessoires and the Insta360 Studio software. But in order to get the maximum dynamic range, maximum imaging quality, sometimes you do have to capture multiple shots. And if you don't want to compromise the 72 megapixel, you have to capture in multiple shots with multiple menu settings, just exactly what I am working on this image in this shot. So you can see I have tried to change the exposure time to 1/40 seconds to get bring back the detail in the highlight. If the highlight detail matters, I think definitely you should do multiple shooting before you publish the final shot. But for social network, it is great enough to rely on PureShot, no matter you have shot in 18 megapixel or 72 megapixel. And later you can see I'm trying to change to another perspective. I try to place the camera above the salad. This is so-called Yuqing style. But here, unluckily I have crashed. I have crashed my accessory. Take a look. I have crashed my accessory, but luckily enough, the lens is perfect. The lens survived. So I tried to another orientation. I use this Insta360 PGY co-design the mini tripod, extend to the full lens, and place in the slant orientation. I try to place just above my leg. And by doing that, I successfully placed the accessory just above the salad. And from the live preview, you can literally see this point of view looks much better compared with the previous one. Even though you have lose some detail behind the glass, but you do have a leviation feeling above the salad. So that point of perspective gonna give you the best immersive experience in the final shot. To guarantee that you get the best result, to better capture multiple shots with your face control and with some more gestures with the chopsticks and hands around this environment. So this is what I am working on this shot. And if you do want to quickly share with your friends, just turn back to the 80 megapixel and capture another shot and use the app to generate the PureShot image directly in the app. But if you can wait for a better result, definitely rely on the 72 megapixel, go to the Insta360 Studio software, and with more advanced post-process tricks and to get the best overall result. This is what we're going to get on the basis of single frame and the PureShot within the app, but I only get 80 megapixel, which I think is not good enough. And coming next, I will share with you my Insta360 app workflow. This is an amateur workflow because to deliver the fast workflow with good imaging quality, not the best, but good. That is good enough for social network. If you want to be fast, if you want to be easy, simple, hassle-free, you're gonna watch out. I'm gonna share with you my app with screen capture and also my voiceover. Here I always use Quick Reader. I insert my memory card and I use a lightning connector to connect with my phone. Here you can see this photo being captured with the camera. For this demonstration, just want to share with you some new features on the basis of 360 photos inside the Insta360 app as well. Take a look. This is the photo being captured with the camera. You just cannot apply PureShot because it is a 72 megapixel photos. So this is what the result straight out from the camera. but overall it is great. And you can select, you can tap, you can switch back between the front and rear photos. It's quickly jump in between different photos. It feels more responsive. And if you swipe, did you see that? If you swipe, this frame gonna be zoom, gonna be collapse. Take a look. If you swipe into between the thumbnail. So this is a very user-friendly and intuitive gesture. Swipe. And for this photo, I've been captured and post-processed with PureShot within the app. Because this is the 80 megapixels. The result looks pretty good actually. Bring back the detail in the shadow area. And you can turn it on or turn it off. By tapping the PureShot, you get more detail in the final shot. And you can even hit on Clarity Plus. But for within the app, you just cannot turn on PureShot and Clarity Plus at the same time. So this is a little bit pity, but you can add some filters. And you swipe to the double tap. You can double tap to preview. Do you see that? You can double tap a full screen preview. And if swipe, you can switch back in between the different filter. This is also a new feature for the app as well. Double tap, preview interactively. Outdoors, and turn on all the filters. And you also get to adjust every settings. It looks like it's built in Lightroom or built in Adobe Camera Raw. You get to change exposure, the color temperature, the contrast, the saturation, highlights, shadows, the tones, the sharpness, whatever you want. It's really powerful. You can also download to the internal memory of your phone, and you switch back between different perspective. The cinematic ratio, 9:16. Another thing that made me feel excited is the animation. The hidden animation. You can see a lot of template. But so far, only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 different templates. I think Insta360 has learned a lot from iQuick's Bing app, the great app behind the brand Vecno 360 camera. And I do hope in the future they can add more keyframe or more template into this feature to transform a 360 photo into a short video clip within the app. So this is another great feature for the photo feature in the app as well. And I also get to change the stitching methods for the photos, for the lens guard, the dive case, or the dive case above the water. And for the basic, you can turn on or turn off the flow state stabilization, turn on or turn on the logo or turn it off. And you can download all these shots. After download successfully, you get to see an icon indication on the corner of the thumbnail. But to get the maximum quality, I think the studio software is our next stop. It's time for desktop workflow. With the desktop, the latest software, photography, and even AI, it is possible to get the best result from the 72 megapixel raw tuned file being captured with Accessoires. I'm gonna divide the desktop workflow demonstration into 2 parts. In part number 1, it is a demonstration for the multi-shot technique with the 72 megapixel raw, different exposure. One of them exposed for the highlight, one of them exposed for the mid-tone and dark shadow areas. Blend them together and further fine-tuning with the Nadir patch and the image quality enhancement with the Topaz Photo AI, and you finally get the result. In the part number 2, I want to explore on the basis of a single PureShot image what we can get with exactly the same workflow to try to find the sweet spot, the workflow that is the most efficient at the same time deliver the best possible result. Now let's go to the desktop demonstration. Now we are in the Insta360 Studio 2.6.6. I'm going to show you some photography technique which haven't been covered by anybody else to get the best possible quality with Accessoires and the 72 megapixel raw DNG files. It's raw file. I don't want to use SSP file because I presume the best quality. Drag and drop. And yes, it is the photo being captured with Accessoires, and the Studio software going to automatically apply the PureShot on each one of the raw file. 72 megapixel, 1/4 second. And now it's a trick. Turn off automatically horizon leveling because we have captured multiple shots with exactly the same perspective. There's just no detail in the highlight areas. And this shot have been captured with a faster shutter speed, 1/25 second. So I burn back a lot more detail in the highlight areas. Turn off. Or you can multiple select, hit on export directly, and just turn it off. Turn off automatic horizon leveling. Just turn off. And export 360 photo. Turn off automatic horizon leveling. And don't use any Nadir logo. Start export. The Studio software can generate a high quality raw DNG as well as a post-processed PureShot JPEG file. The quality looks pretty amazing, but not for all of the detail. One single 72 megapixel raw DNG file, the file size is pretty unique. It's 409.8 megabytes. It's very huge. It's huge. And for the single JPEG file, it's 32.62 megabytes. Here, this one is underexposed. This one is overexposed. I'm gonna merge these two exposure into Adobe Camera Raw. To open the Camera Raw, and just apply this auto apply. Just apply this technique and add a little bit more texture, and that's it. Synchronize the settings. So these two shots, the same photo with different exposures, and they are already stitched. Fuse the exposure in Photoshop. The next one is to merge into the HDR. With two photos. Just merge to HDR with the 16-bit flow. HDR merging directly inside Adobe Camera Raw. Turn off align, turn off all the settings, and the ghosting set to medium because you can see there's some moving subject in the shot. We just want to bring back the detail in the blown out areas. We can even hit on high. Yes, for this part, I think the exposures in the first image looks pretty good. And hit on merge. And you get another raw DNG files, which is 16-bit raw DNG file. And in this shot, take a look. If you lower down exposure, you can now bring back the detail in the overexposed areas. Take a look. You can now bring back the detail. But for this shot, it's impossible to bring back the detail in the overexposed areas. So by merge the two shots in Adobe Camera Raw, now it's possible to bring back all the detail in the blown out areas. And we can even lower down exposure for a little bit, turn off the highlight, bring back all the details, and take a look. These dark shadow areas. They still have some detail in the dark shadow areas. And we have brought back all the detail on the food. Minor change the temperature and the hint. Now you can directly export the image. Hit on export. export in JPEG. This is a shot with the best possible detail. And next one, if you want to make some Nadir patch, this is tripod in the Nadir part. The TouchRetouch software now has a desktop version. Just drag and drop and turn on 360 view. It's very easy to quick repair the photos. But TouchRetouch is a paid software. I think the price is reasonable. It's really fast. And it saves you time and efforts. Take a look. Yeah, so far so good. Here you can see a little bit. Okay, just save the original file. Considering that I am sitting on the rear lens, so I use offset to place my head in the middle of the frame. Take a look. Now you can see we have almost get the best possible quality from the 72 megapixel, but if you zoom in super close, the face still looks a little bit blurry, especially on the eyes, the brows. And next we're gonna use some AI algorithm to further improve the quality of this image. This is where the Topaz Photo AI really shines. The latest edition is 1.2.7. Hit on import. With autopilot function for the software, you can improve the imaging quality a lot. Just look at before and after. Take a look, before and after. It's 200. And we can even recover some face if we want. The AI can redraw my portrait with the advanced AI algorithm. But I think I just lose some detail, so I turn it off. And I can even sharpen the photo a little bit. Take a look. Look at how sharp my face. And it's way too sharp. So I lower down the strength and lower down the clarity. This is before and after comparison. And that's it. This is 72 megapixel. We get a better dynamic range, a better detail in the shot. Take a look at the rest of the photos. Take a look at the flowers. Just take a look at before and after. Before and after, still get more detail. And hit on save. The software can regenerate the files automatically for us. And this is where I upload to my Facebook and share with you guys the final image. So this is why the image looks really sharp, really high quality. This with the help of the multi-exposure and with the help of AI image processing, I can finally get the photo I want. I can finally get the best possible quality. And in the Adobe Bridge, if you get this image, you can still fine-tune the shot to wipe out the artifacts on my face. This is the final image I've been achieved with the Insta360 X3 with the best possible quality. Take a look. It's very sharp and vivid. Everything in the pictures. Okay. And then we can preview the photo in the THETA app. I use THETA or GoPro VR Player as a 360 content preview software. I think for the commercial photographer, for the Insta360 X3 with my simple technique, it is still possible. It is still possible to meet the minimum requirement from your customers to provide high quality commercial photos from the consumer level product as the Insta360 X3, because 72 megapixel really provide a lot more information, in the final shot. And with the help of AI, it is possible to deliver the premium quality. This one is something like underexposed photo. Underexposed, a single frame. This is a single frame exposed to the highlight. And I still want to bring back more detail in the PureShot. In the PureShot, the PureShot could give you an amazing result, but not the best overall result. To get the most professional imaging quality, you still need multiple shooting, even with the consumer level camera. But let's take a look at what we can get on the basis of a single frame. This is a shot we captured. This is a 1/25 second, and this is a 1/50 second. This is a 18 megapixel. This is 72 megapixel. I definitely want shot with the 72 megapixels and with a leviation feeling in the shot. I can directly hit on change to the folder. On basis of a single shot, you can apply the horizon leveling, start export, and go to the Adobe Bridge, go to the export. You will see the raw DNG file that's been regenerated from the PureShot, from the studio software. This is a raw DNG file. Take a look. Hit on auto. You still get more detail even in the dark shadow areas, but it tends to look a little bit noisy overall. And we still need to lower down the exposure, to lower down the color temperature. I try to bring back as much detail as I can from the blown out highlight areas. And this is the best I can get from this shot. Now still I sit on the rear lens, so my face has been splitted from left to right. But never mind. We can hit on save. This is a shot we get from the PureShot RAW, and this is the shot we get from the PureShot algorithm directly from the studio software. We'll open up this shot, take a before and after comparison. This is the PureShot technology. This we're gonna regenerate from the RAW file. Sometimes I think that the PureShot even generate a better color tone, but with more noise in the dark shadow areas. Do you see that? The PureShot tend to over denoise the overall result, but they bring back as much detail from the dark shadow areas. This is a PureShot. This is a shot we have been regenerated from Adobe Camera Raw. This is PureShot. This is Adobe Camera Raw. But for the PureShot result, I think it has been over denoised. So I just want the best overall result in between, in the middle. One thing I can do is to blend the PureShot with the raw file. There's some transparency. Blend the two exposures to get the best of both worlds. Merge, offset, place my portrait in the middle, and save as a JPEG file. And take a look. This is a face. Face already looks pretty sharp. Let's try to blend with even another software, AI software. And we can turn around, remove noise, and sharpen the image a little bit. Just take a look before and after. Before and after. So the AI software tend to add to denoise for the overall areas, but tend to sharp some detail in the area. Take a look. A tiny little difference. So this software has deal with the noise really clever with AI before and after. So after the noise, your image even looks sharper. And for the portrait, before and after, even get a better portrait. And you can even boost the resolution. And take a look. Before and after. This is going to get the best possible overall quality from the desktop workflow. It seems to be a little bit complicated, but I want to show you every little step that I want to show you what I am thinking about to get the best possible quality. And later, if those genius software engineer they figure out my workflow, they try to establish this workflow into their PureShot or some other technique that have been built inside this camera or the app, I think more and more customers gonna get the much better imaging quality even from an older camera model. I have shared with you everything that I have learned in the Insta360 X3 high quality photography workflow. Just as you have learned for the PureShot HDR, we still want the full manual exposure to get the best possible result. And we still want the PureShot HDR to shot at 72 megapixel in burst rate. This is a key part for the best potential in the desktop workflow. You should also improve yourself by mastering more and more professional tools in the desktop, including the TouchRetouch. This software now has a desktop version that is very intuitive, and even you can edit the patch Nadir with the 360 live preview. And don't forget with the power of AI. The AI helps us a lot, especially in the 360 photos, enhance the imaging quality by a giant step forward. So for 360 consumer level product, it is really hard to jam-pack a giant imaging sensor in such little compact form factor. So in the future, I think AI is going to be really important for the imaging quality enhancement. For the native imaging quality, the THETA Z1 is still the king, but X3 with AI or Z1 with AI gonna push the imaging quality even further. And maybe in the future, and for Topaz Photo AI, there's autopilot. The autopilot just works like a chat GPT or a GPT-4. It looks like a smart assistant that could help you perform post-process on the desktop workflow, because now we have a really powerful desktop machine. And it's getting better and better. Don't ever underestimate AI in our future 360 photography. And we should keep constantly improve ourselves and improve the workflow, to finalize the workflow to get a better imaging quality, to grab the moment of the life at the best quality. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to thumb up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you next time. Bye.